Today class we are going to extend our class for resistivity dependence, how conductors and insulators will conduct current. So, or we can prove that why conductivity is more for conductors and less for insulators. So, what is the formula we got for here conductivity? Conductivity is equals to what? Sigma n E square tau by m. So, here initially the number of charge carriers in a conductor is more, so that the conductivity for a substance is more normally. Now, if temperature increases for conductors, what happens? The electrons gains energy and starts to move in one particular direction. While moving from one end to another end, there is a possibility of collisions. If temperature increases more, the kinetic energy also increases, which causes more collision. So, relaxation time will decreases. So, what happens? This remains constant, but relaxation time decreases. So, if for conductors, if temperature increases, resistance increases or resistivity also increases. So, now what we can here say that resistance is directly proportional to temperature for conductors. For example, insulators or semiconductors. In insulators and semiconductors, number of charge carriers are less. So, if you increase the temperature, there is no increase in their n value. Sorry, if there is increase in n value, because some of the electrons gains energy and break their covalent bond. If temperature increases, resistance also increases. So, for semiconductors or insulators, what happens? Number of charge carriers are less. So, if you increase temperature, that energy is utilized to break their covalent bond. So, that number of charge carriers increases and relaxation time does not affect that much here. So, what happens? Number of charge carriers increases, resistivity decreases, as well as resistance also decreases. So, what you can say that here for semiconductors or insulators, resistance is inversely proportional to temperature. So, what we observe here, if you are changing the temperature, the resistance is going to change. For change in temperature, that we can define the property as temperature coefficient of resistance. What temperature coefficient of resistance is very simple. What we observe here previous case, if you change the temperature either in conductors or semiconductors or insulators, there is change in resistance, either may increase or decrease, but due to change of temperature there is change in resistance. So, we can say that that fractional change in resistance due to change of temperature is called temperature coefficient of resistance. Is it represented by letter alpha? So, what is alpha? The fractional change in resistance or resistivity. You can take both. The fractional change in resistance due to change of temperature is called alpha. Alpha is called what? Temperature coefficient of resistance. So, we can write the formula for alpha as R2 minus R1 by R1 into delta T, or R2 minus R1 by R1 into T2 minus T1. As we know that R1 is initial resistance, R2 is final resistance, okay, and T1, T2 are initial and final temperatures respectively. See here, what are the units here? For change in resistance, you get ohm. This is also resistance, this is ohm, this is Kelvin. Ohm cancel, what do you get? Kelvin inverse. So the SI unit of resistivity is what? Temperature of resistivity or resistance, you can take, that is Kelvin inverse or per degree Kelvin. Okay. Now if increase temperature, suppose that we are increasing temperature, I am taking some example. So if increase temperature for conductors, what happens? As we know, for conductors temperature increases, resistance also increases, right? Because resistance is directly resistance is directly proportional to what? Temperature. So what you can say that alpha is positive. See, R2 will be more than R1, so R2 minus R1 will be positive, so alpha is positive. For semiconductors or insulators, alpha is negative. Why? For semiconductors or insulators, if temperature increases, resistance decreases, so R2 is less than R1, so R2 minus R1 gives negative value, so alpha is negative. If you take the graphs, so this is important, last time they asked for the question how the variation of temperature with resistivity for conductors and semiconductors. So here if you take temperature and this is resistivity, what happens? If temperature increases, resistivity also increases. For semiconductors or insulators, the graph will be, why this gap is, initially it has some resistivity, so resistivity rho naught is initial resistive, even though when the temperature is 0 of substances or of conductors, it has some resistivity, so we should not drop from 0, so linearly increases. So what about here? It will decreases, that is inversely proportional. So these are the graphs that are very important for 1 mark question. Next, here we have two materials, special materials, those are constantan and manganese. So these two materials, what their specialty is, they are used in making experimental wires or different applications. Why? Because they have a special property that they have least dependence on temperature. So for a change in temperature, the alpha value change will be very less. So that's why they are used in making experimental wires. So these two materials are very important in making the experimental wires. So this is about what? Temperature coefficient of resistivity. And the next concept is cell. We said that when you connect a battery or a cell such that the current starts to flow in a substance or a conductor, when you connect to a conductor or a wire, the current starts to flow. So that is called what? Cell. It has two terminals. The representation of circuit symbol is this one. So this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. One is called cathode, one is called anode. As you already studied in chemistry about cell, we are not going to depth about here. So here we are going to learn about some concepts based on a cell, that is called, first one is EMF. What is this word? Electromotive force, but it is not a force. Don't think that because of it is called as electromotive force, it is a force, right? So what is electromotive force is, for example, if you take a cell, when you connect it to a conductor having some resistance R, I want to bring the charge, so I want to flow the charge from throughout the circuit, means the amount of work done to bring the charge throughout the circuit, that work done is called what? Electromotive force. So it is defined as total amount of work done to bring a charge, means to make the charge move in a circuit, we require to do some energy. That energy is going to provide by this cell, that is called what? EMF throughout the circuit is called EMF. It is represented by letter epsilon EMF. Okay. Next one is, for example, I want to bring the charge from here to here, or A to B, or A to C. So that is not equals to electromotive force, because total work done, again A to A is called what? EMF. So what we can say, that formula is terminal, it is nothing but what ma? It is nothing but also potential difference, but the potential difference throughout the circuit is called what? EMF. So SI unit is volt. Here terminal potential difference is to bring the charge from one terminal to another terminal, that is called what? Terminal. So the amount of work done to bring a charge from one terminal to another, is called terminal potential difference. So it is represented by letter V. Now have you seen the cell, right? A battery at home, it has two terminals, so one like this and one here. So this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. The distance between these two has been filled with what? A substance called electrolyte. So what we are discussing here, because from A to B we can bring the charge easily, again from B to A to bring the charge, it is very difficult, right? So we have to work done against the electrolyte. That resistance offered by the electrolyte present between the two terminals of a cell is called what? Internal resistance. So what is internal resistance? The resistance offered by the electrolyte present between the two terminals of a cell is called what? Internal resistance. So external resistance is capital R, whereas internal resistance is represented by letter small r. So what is internal resistance? The resistance offered by the which one? Electrolyte present between, where it present? Two terminals of a cell. Is called internal resistance. So now we got new terms E, V and R. Now we are going to derive the relation between these three terminals. So what are the relation? Are very important for 3 marks question. Current flowing through a circuit. So if any circuit is there, what is the flowing current through a circuit is called what? We are going to derive, that is the relation between I, E, R. What is E? electromotive force, the amount of work done to bring a charge throughout the circuit. What about terminal potential difference? The amount of work done to bring a charge throughout the circuit, sorry, one terminal to another terminal. Let us take a circuit which is connected, means a conductor is connected to a cell of EMF E and connected to an external resistance capital R. The internal resistance offered by the cell is small r. Now the current starts to flow. The current starts to flow, right? So what is the current flowing through circuit? I. Now coming to the basic definition, EMF of a circuit is equals to what? Let us take two terminals, amount of work done to bring a charge throughout the circuit, right? Means I have to bring the charge from terminal A to B and again from B to A. So VAB plus VBA. Okay. What is Ohm's law? V is equals to I into resistance, current flowing through a circuit into resistance. When the current flowing from A to B, what is the resistance offered here? Capital R. When it traveling from B to A, what is the resistance offered here? Small r. So E is equals to I into R plus I into small r. What is the common? I, right? So E is equals to, let us take this is equation number 1, I into R plus R. What we required? Current. So current flowing through a circuit, I is equals to E by R plus R. So this is the formula for current flowing through a circuit. So from equation 1, what we can write? E is equals to the amount of work done to bring charge from one terminal to another terminal is called what? Potential difference V plus this is I into R. So from this what we understood, that E is greater than V when it is in a closed circuit. When it is connected to any conductor, it becomes a closed circuit. In open circuit means what? The cell is not connected to any substance, so I had left like this. So in this case current flows? No. I is equals to 0, then E is equals to V. So in open circuit EMF is equals to potential, and closed circuit E is always greater than V. And one more point we have to observe, that while writing the differences, EMF is a source. EMF is a source, whereas V is what? Potential difference is a cause. Because of this EMF, we are able to move the charge from one terminal to another terminal. So EMF is a source, whereas V is a cause. So that is the relation. Next, one more relation, we got current, right? What is the current flowing through a circuit? Current I is equals to E by R plus R. I is equals to what? E by R plus R. I want to get R, we can write here E is equals to V plus IR. I want to get the equation for internal resistance, so divide with V on both sides. E by V, V, V. What is V? I into R. Substitute here only enough. E by V is equals to IR by I into R plus 1. I cancel. From this, R by R is equals to E by V minus 1. If you take LCM, E minus V by V. Finally, R is equals to what? E minus V by V into capital R. So this is the expression for finding internal resistance. So you need to derive till I is equals to E by R plus R, and you can take the condition, prove that E is greater than V in closed circuit and E equals to V in open circuit. That's enough. Now we come to know about cell, right? So again these cells can be connected in series, can be connected in parallel like capacitors and resistors. So how to connect ma? We know that one end is connected to another end. So here the condition we should obey that, because a cell has positive terminal and negative terminal. Negative terminal should be connected to positive and positive terminal should be connected to negative. We should connect like this only, otherwise the combination will get wrong. Now I am taking two cells which are connected in series. See, negative terminal is connected to positive. Now these ends are connected to an external resistor of resistance capital R. Let us take the EMF of the battery is E1. What about this one? E2. This cell is different, so it has internal resistance R1. What about this one? R2. Current starts to flow or not? Yes, because this is connected to an external resistance. What is the current flowing through the circuit ma? I. So as we know, which is constant here? Current is constant, potential difference will varies. Understood? Yes. Potential difference across E1. So what is the relation we have? E is equals to V plus IR. From this what we want? Potential difference. So V is equals to E minus IR. What is the potential across E1? V1. EMF is E1. So V1 equals to E1 minus I into R1. Am I right? Yes. Same way, potential difference across E2. We can write as what? V2 is equals to E2 minus IR2. E2 minus IR2. As usual, total potential or net potential. So what is the net potential? V is equals to V1 plus E2. What is V1? E1 minus IR1 plus E2 minus IR2. That implies V is equals to, take E1 on one side, E1 plus E2. If you take minus I common here, what do you get? R1 plus R2. So this is considered equation number 1. So when you connect two cells or two resistors or two capacitors in series, we consider the effective EMF, right, as well as internal resistance. So if ES and RS be the effective EMF and internal resistance of two cells in series. So then what is the net potential? V is equals to ES minus IRS. So compare these two equations. What are the two equations we got? LHS is same, RHS is same. So instead of ES, what is there? E1 plus E2. What about RS? R1 plus R2, right? So now we got effective EMF and internal resistance. So finally current through the circuit I is equals to E by R plus R. If it in series, ES by R plus RS. What is ES? E1 plus E2 by R plus R1 plus R2. If you connect n cells, for n cells, what is the formula? ES is equals to E1 plus E2 plus and so on En. For identical cells, ES is equals to NE Here resistance, what the formula you can write? Rs is equals to R1 plus R2 plus and so on Rn for n identical cells, n into R. So writing equation for current for both E1 plus E2 plus and so on plus En by R plus R1 plus R2 plus and so on Rn. Finally, for n identical cells, the formula can be written as I is equals to Ne by R plus Nr. So this is the expression for cells in series. Go through this without fail, very important for 3 marks. If you go through this one, we can discuss in the next class cells in parallel. That is very important, because only 2 questions are there in this chapter. Out of these 2 you will get 1 question. Is it clear? Right. Thank you.